mission of Teal Diva is simple: to celebrate life.
Cancerversary.
As survivors of ovarian and other gynecological cancers, we understand the reason to celebrate every sunrise. We are bound by our common experiences and challenges and form a sorority which we never intended to join.
We are sisters, even though most of us will never meet face to face. We celebrate life together and individually. Many of us were misdiagnosed many times before we were properly diagnosed with our various cancers. We pledge that the primary beneficiary of any of our fundraising efforts will be research programs seeking reliable screening tests for gynecologic cancers,
so that we can be proactive in maintaining our health. We pledge this not only for ourselves, but also for those who are yet to be diagnosed, and to honor the legacy of the sisters we've lost.
JJ and I met in 1995.
Shannon and I met at Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on my senior week.
On a graduation weekend trip.
We hung out a little bit that week at the beach, found out that we were both from Charlotte. It was just time to say goodbye. I went off to college, he went back to college.
And then didn't see each other for about, I think it was about 7 years.
7 years later, we were at kind of like an outdoor festival.
And then just bumped into each other one night accidentally, and then we've been together ever since.
And we got married 4 years later.
We had been married for 3 years when she was diagnosed.
We were working in the yard, JJ and I had pain just so excruciating in my abdomen that it just sent me to my knees. Like, it was just, I felt like I just needed the world to stop.
When they had the actual diagnosis, that was just kind of devastating.
When you're a little girl, you think it's just the natural process. You grow up, you get married, you have kids, and then they have kids, and you become a grandparent, and it's just the way a lot of girls' minds work. And so it was a lot to come to terms with, that it just wasn't going to be the process for me. 2 months ago, I was in France on my dream vacation, and then now I've got cancer, and then I can't have kids.
Anything she needed, I tried to provide. You know, if I was able to, just try to stay upbeat.
I needed to feel normal and needed to feel okay, and we couldn't find it in any avenue that we tried. I just started writing down a concept. I wanted it to appeal to any person. I wanted Teal Diva, and then my husband helped with the diva part. I don't know where he got it from.
She took it like with a positive note and decided to do something about it.
My initial goal with Teal Diva was for me to meet one person that was going through what I was going through. A year into it, I met a girl, Erica, exact same situation as me.
Me and my husband had just gotten married 6 months prior, and we wanted to start a family. So we thought we were going to start a new life and having kids involved, and instead I was waking up from surgery finding out I would never have my own kids. We all know what each other has gone through and what we're still going through.
If I can continue to meet people or help one person or build a group of women that can help someone else, then I feel like it was worth it. I have met an incredible group of women that understand a piece of me that my lifelong friend will never understand.
I would have given anything on the first day of chemo to meet somebody that had been through it. A group of us have gotten together and we put bags of gifts together for first-time chemo patients. And we go on the first day of chemo and we give that to them.
Just because I have cancer, just because I'm bald, doesn't mean anything. I'm still beautiful. That sounds conceited, but I'm still beautiful.
When you're faced with an urgent emergent situation, the best thing to do is to calm down and get a grip.
I thought, wow, I wonder if I'll live 5 years. And I wonder if it's going to be worth living. Nobody understands it like the other people going through it.
Even though I had the support from my family, I just never felt more alone to meet somebody that's been through it and is still here 5 years later. It really gives you hope.
It's been a blessing just to have a place to go where you can talk to people who've been through the same things as you, and you know, that just kind of understand the things you've been through and where you're coming from.
And they're like family, and I'm able to help them, they can help me, and we're a sisterhood, and it's great.
Awesome to have a support group. I wish I would have found him a year ago.
They can understand on a level that your family never can. They can provide support and comfort about, I'm feeling this way, and they're like, that's completely normal, I feel the same way.
You have a bunch of questions and emotions that happen all at the same time. Look at what you can take from their experience, the positive side of their experience, and apply it to yourself.
It's survivorship, and we're in it together, and we're in it to win.
It gives you, support and motivation to move forward and be positive and give back to other women who are doing the same, and be able to tell your story and hope that it helps somebody in the same way that hearing others helped my own.
Dear Cancer, tomorrow I hope to say goodbye for good. While it has been interesting getting to know you, and while I am forever changed by you, I am happy to part ways. I was extremely scared of you in September, but now I no longer fear you. I know that God gives me the strength to face you. He will not give me more than I can handle. You have scarred me not only physically, but emotionally. I've tried to overcome you by having a positive attitude and not let you get me down. You've made it tough. You've made my body weak. There are days I am physically tired and just plain worn out. Days I find it hard to lift a finger or even move a toe. And as of last night, I'm 37 pounds heavier. I absolutely hate the way I look and feel. You have given new meaning to soul searching. But on a positive note, you have given me the knowledge to help others. You have slowed me down, in a good way, by teaching me to appreciate life more. You have brought my husband and I closer together. You have reconnected me with people I otherwise may not have reconnected with. I've met other women who also know you personally. You made me a stronger woman. So farewell, Cancer. Thank you for the good. Thank you for the bad. Both are shaping me for the person I am meant to be. I will get there, and I'll be stronger when I do. Shannon.
I work at a hospital here in Charlotte, and they had a presentation at work to climb Mount Kilimanjaro for a good cause, to raise awareness for ovarian cancer.
She approached me and said, I think this would be great. I think we should do it. And I was like, so I'm not going to have to go rock climbing or anything. And she's like, no. And I mean, she's selling the whole experience. And I'm like, the more she said it, and I was like, I think I could do that.
I said, Kilimanjaro? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, why? She said, I think I want to climb it. So I said, okay, I'll go and see about this, but you've never even been hiking really before. And she goes, I don't care. I think I want to do this. So I said, yes, ma'am, I'll go.
And we set out to raise 100% of the funds to go. In doing that, we are able to share the story and talk about the symptoms of ovarian cancer and get in front of people we otherwise wouldn't have gotten in front of. When I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, I had no idea it would be almost an exact replica of going through treatment for cancer. I felt every single thing in 1 week that I felt in 6 months of going through treatment.
The oxygen level on Kilimanjaro is less than half of what we're accustomed to at basically sea level.
Cancer was my mountain, and by climbing this mountain, it's changed my life. There is an end. You just have to start walking.
It took 5 days to climb up and basically 1 day to get down.
When we saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, we're getting ready to climb that. We got to a camp one day. We turned around and looked, and we were above all the clouds.
You have to climb very slowly to acclimate to the altitude so you don't get sick.
It was really a year and a half out from chemo. One would think, oh, you're fine, but you're still feel very fatigued.
You walk at a snail's pace and you feel like you're running a marathon. You're breathing so deep and you're gasping for the amount of air that you need.
It was probably about 3 hours into our ascent, our friends caught up to us. And at that time, a couple of the guides decided that because of the pace I was moving and the pace the group was moving, that JJ would probably be more likely to summit if he was with the faster paced group.
There's so many people climbing the mountain at one time that I got split up from Shannon.
We were separated from Shannon the summit night, and we all wanted, it meant more to us that Shannon make it, you know, than the rest of us.
I was talking to my guide, and this was probably the biggest moment for me, because he's like, you know, I don't think you're going to make it. And I was like, what? And it was like the first person that said, I don't think you're going to make it. And so I started to cry because I didn't want to not make it. And I didn't want to let people down. And I felt like it was the same thing as going through treatment.
I got very upset, thinking, I can't imagine what, 5 months of this must be like. You know, she's telling me that that's what she was experiencing through her treatment process.
We got to our last camp where we had to acclimate to make our summit, and it was.
That's where it got tough for me.
It was about 15,000
Where
feet.
you could start. I could feel the altitude at that point.
That's where most everybody started getting headaches.
You just don't feel normal. You feel just out of sorts.
I actually started thinking, do I have frostbite? Is this worth it? You know, what does frostbite feel like? Would I know if I was getting it?
It's just so hard for me to understand that I couldn't breathe walking it, slowly.
Your mind starts playing with you, and you're just like, I should just quit.
The last night was probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest days of my life. I mean, it was tough for me.
All the people that really kind of got behind us and rallied behind me to do this, I don't want to let them down.
You just dig deep and find some inner strength in you that okay, I came all the way out here to do something, and I'm going to do this, and I can't quit. I have to fight until there's no fight left in me.
So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go. I'm going to keep going. We both just helped one another up, and we did it. And I was really hoping to see JJ there, and I looked up and I saw them walking towards me.
It was very emotional. I mean, I cried. I wept. It was not like just a little whimper. I mean, I wept.
It was a good feeling to be able to hug him and know that we did this.
We walked up, and I just remember hugging her. And I'm not a very emotional guy, but I can remember hugging her and crying, and that she summited the mountain.
The day that we summited was my 2nd year anniversary of being diagnosed.
That was, I think, very emotional for everybody, that she had pushed so hard and made it.
The high that I got on being on top of it was the same high you get when you go to that doctor's appointment and they say your scans are clear.
A lot of the things I used to worry about, I just don't anymore. I came to a realization going through this that it's not worth it, It's not worth worrying about. If you can do something like that, you can definitely get past a lot of the other little simple things in your life.
To look back on what it took for me to do that mountain made me realize what it took for me to go through treatment.
Some woman at some time availed herself and stuck out her arm and let them pump this horrible stuff through her veins. And because she did it, I have a better chance. So I hope they learned something from me that helps somebody else.
A negative thought always pops in your head, and the difference is letting it control you and take over you versus just moving forward. And your best way to get out of it is to talk to someone who can understand.
You have to be willing to get up in the mornings, keep your routine, stay active.
Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself moving forward at all times.
I'm going through some things. I might be in pain, but I'm great because I'm alive.
You could be the toughest person in the world. You could be the healthiest, and you could work out every single day. None of it matters if you don't have what it takes on the inside.
I am a fighter.
I'm a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I'm a fighter.
And I am a teal diva.
And I'm a teal diva.
I am a teal diva.
And I'm a teal diva.
I am a teal